I know, we're behind. I had a Kendrick Lamar album to catch up on, but listen, I'm well aware that ROSÉ has dropped her second single, so this right here, right now is none other than #1 girl.
Tell me that I'm special, tell me I look pretty, tell me I'm a little angel, sweetheart of your city. Say what I'm dying to hear, 'cause I'm dying to hear you. Tell me I'm that new thing, tell me that I'm relevant, tell me that I got a big heart, and back it up with evidence. I need it and I don't know why. This late at night, isn't it lonely?
Wow.
Do anything to make you want me. Give it all up if you told me.
Wow. You know the thing about these scaled back piano tracks, when you really just simplify the implementation of it all, it really lets the singer shine through, especially with a range and a voice like ROSÉ's. And she's showing it all. She's showing all the dynamics. There's a few just more whispered, breathy deliveries. She drops down a little bit, and then right here when we really start to push some of the power chords and what she's capable of with her voice. But also there's just this, I've always loved her tone. You guys know that. But there's this just raw vulnerability to it as well. And there's some really interesting lyrics cut into this, especially the line that really just resonates with me right now is, you know, she's wanting to be told all these things. She's seeking validation. But what's interesting is that she doesn't just want validation and someone to say these things. They need to back it up with evidence. That's such an interesting line because that shows like there's vulnerability and then there's vulnerability times 100. And you need evidence. You need to literally show me these things. That's just taking it to a whole nother level. And it's really interesting because, you know, you think about online and you think about the way that internet validation works and seeking these things. And it just feels like there's a little bit of that quality to this. Like I could see this doubling as, you know, her speaking to a lover and her needing that validation, that evidence. But then also like online, someone says something and back it up with evidence and really like show me these things, like bring receipts, because that's the generation and the timeline we live in right now. But right here when this opens, when every single piano hit, she just changes positions, right? And it kind of reminds me of like the classic 90s rock videos when you film in like, you know, the bowl of a pool, or you film in the bowl of a skate park, right? It's just got that sort of raw vibe. She's got the baggier jeans on as well, the flares at the bottom.
Tell me that I'm special.
But just watch these hits. Yeah, right there. I love that, right? It just feels very raw, especially even like filming with more of the square dimensions instead of like the classic 1920 by 1080 YouTube dimensions, right? It sort of takes you back in time, that nostalgic feel to it.
Tell me that I'm special, tell me I look pretty, tell me I'm a little angel, sweetheart of your city.
Like this feels more towards a lover, right? But even there, sweetheart of your city, that could be talking to the fans as well, couldn't it?
Say what I'm dying to hear, 'cause I'm dying to hear you. Tell me I'm...
And that's just a clever little word flip. Say what I'm dying to hear. And then she flips that meaning, just goes a little bit deeper into it, because I am dying to hear you.
That new thing, tell me that I'm relevant, tell me that I got a big heart, and back it up with evidence.
Tell me that I'm relevant. So right there, those are the two key identifiers for me. Tell me that I'm relevant, and then a line later, back it up with evidence. Why would she be concerned about relevancy with just a lover, right? That to me is that seeking of sort of that more social media validation. Could be to the fans.
I need it and I don't know why. This late at night, isn't it lonely?
And this late at night, you know, we all fall victim to that, don't we? Like we sit there scrolling on the phone, just passively scrolling late at night. And what are we seeking? Are we seeking that validation? Wow.
That I'll be the #1 girl in your eyes. You're one and only. So what's it gonna take for you to want me? I'd give it all up if you told
Wow.
be the number one girl in your eyes.
Oh, she's really singing on this one.
Tell me I'm going real big places, down to earth, so friendly, and even through all the phases. Tell me you accept me. Well, that's all I'm dying to hear. Yeah, I'm dying to hear you. Tell me that you need me. Tell me that I'm loved. Tell me that I'm worth it and that I'm enough. I need it and I don't know why. This late at night, isn't it lonely?
Oh, man.
Do anything to make
There's just, I've talked about this before. I love the moments when like they leave the breasts in between, because it really just feels like we're there in the studio with her. And the choice to film at night, again, just ties back in with sort of like the nighttime scrolling in the feeds. And it's all coming together now for me with number one. The quest for a singer to want to be number one. But also, when you have a significant other, you want to be number one in their lives. You want to be told that. And this seeking of validation, I love how she just peels it back. Like, she just takes the vulnerability and the things that we all kind of think and maybe we don't want to share. Because, of course, even me being an influencer and being on here, and I do that, I find myself scrolling online. And why do we do this? And there's that part of us that just needs that human validation from people that we don't even know. But it's not fully fulfilling in the end, because it's not real human connections. And that's where that loneliness can come from. And it can be a very lonely road. And I think that she's playing on that and tying it all in.
you need me. Tell me that I'm loved. Tell me that I'm worth.
And maybe she feels alone too, just because like she's having all these thoughts and these feelings that you can feel trapped by them. And that seeking of validation. We're trained in the social media world too to just like push for likes. And that's how we measure success and relevance, by the positivity and the comments that we have.
And that I'm enough.
Beautiful strings came in right there in the back of the
I
mix.
need it and I don't know why. This late at night, isn't it lonely?
Wow. I love the percussion kicking in here.
Anything to make you want me. Give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. You're one and only. So what's it gonna take for you to want me? Give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. The girl in your eyes.
Wow.
The girl in your eyes.
Woo.
Tell me I'm the number one girl. I'm the number one girl in your eyes. The girl in your eyes. The girl in your eyes. Tell me I'm the number one girl. I'm the number one girl in your eyes. Well, isn't it lonely? I'd do anything to make you want me. I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. You're one and only.
Oh, one more time.
What's it gonna
Why not? Bring it back.
take for you to want me? I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. The number one girl in your eyes.
Whoa. I love just that last note and drop down. You know what? I will say too, like obviously we get so used to a lot of K-pop being just high levels of production, you know, costume changes, dancers, choreography. I love how it's just her, and it makes perfect sense for the song. And even like, it's not even the highest quality. Like that feels very home movie, right? Like the old school video cameras, and it's meant to be that way, to just feel almost raw, documentary-esque, and sometimes less is more. And I think scaling it all back is beautiful. And I love the decision too of Teddy and the producers at the end to just rise it, crescendo it, right? Bring in that percussion finally. I said I love the scale back nature, but then eventually over time with the musicality, just introduce that little factor and that little push to really rise it up. I've never felt so haunted by a song It's so beautiful, but also it just feels so sad because you think about the lyrics almost, and it can even be red flags. It's like there's an extreme vulnerability there. Like, you don't want someone that's that insecure, right? Because it's a song essentially about being so insecure, but I love that because it's not your typical love song, right? About just being infatuation. It's almost an unhealthy love, right? It's this love-hate relationship. There's a tinge of the unhealthiness and being addicted to this. And you could see that and apply it to being a star and having fans and needing that validation, and even with haters, right? And it could feel so lonely having to deal with that world because you don't actually make these relationships, and yet we're so driven by them and so guided by them. And I love how she just took all the walls and tore them down and just left it out there raw and powerful. And to me, it's like speaking as an artist and someone who gets hate all the time, who has to live in this world. It's like a message of solidarity. Like, you're not alone. Like, even some of the biggest people in the world, the most successful singers, they go through it and they deal with it too. And I love how it's doubled as like a love song. And I'm always a fan of that sort of double writing, those innuendos that can walk multiple layers. That was beautiful. All driven by the power of her voice. ROSÉ, you were Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys like today's video. Listen, for some reason you're here at the end, obviously enjoying the content. Do me a huge favor, support the channel directly. Subscribe, notifications on, really does go a long way. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay positive. So only Knox Hill. You know, I'll catch you again